Coffee and cream. Jimmy's on the mic.
He's on your screen.
Wake up and start your day.
Wake up and start your day. Wake up and start your day with Jimmy Lakey. Unleashed,
Unfiltered,
unashamed,
unafraid.
oh yeah.
Go tell all the neighbors. Crank up the speakers.
There's infotainment and brilliance to get you on your way.
From the House of Lakey Studios at the Lakey Entertainment Tower.
God bless America.
Coast to coast, the
Show starts now.
All right, the show does start now. Happy Friday, everybody. The 17th day of July, year of our Lord 2026. Everybody's glad to make it to Friday, a hot Friday in the great state of Colorado, but not as great as it used to be. It's hot here, but maybe it's rainy where you're at, humid where you're at. Wherever it is, I enjoy the summertime. I ain't going to complain. I will comment, boy, it's hot outside, but I'm not going to complain about the heat because I save all my complaining when it snows. I only get so many complaining moments, and I'm going to save it until it's cold and bitter and nasty. And then people bitch and say, well, why don't you just leave Colorado? And I say, believe me, I didn't intend to stay this long, but here we are. It'll be good to have you here. On a positive note, it's Friday, the 17th day of July, year of our Lord 2026. We got a lot of topics to get to this morning. Also, a special feature on today's show. We're going to kind of do a donut on the program. That means right before we get to Doug Giles and Sherry Cree, we're going to give you a little special presentation from the Rivers Promise, the charity that you see displayed on the screen, the hat, the QR code, etc. We call it, they don't spend for it, but our studio sponsor, and they would just want you to know who they are, what Rivers Promise does. I started the organization many, many years ago. You hear me talk about golf events and casino nights. So we're going to show you something here in just a minute I don't think you will want to miss. I think it will bless your little heart. I think it will. So we'll get to that. Anybody watch the Trump speech last night? Unveiling classified information that we have been held back on, and says there needs to be a full investigation. If you missed the whole sum of it, let me give it to you. I'll give you the summation of the Trump speech. Trump dropped election integrity bombshells and urges the passage of the Save America Act. On Thursday night at the White House, President Trump addressed the nation. My fellow Americans, I address the nation every morning. Just very, very few listen. President Trump addressed the nation and presented new evidence detailing multiple security breaches in elections, he said, that had been concealed by a self-proclaimed shadow government in the Biden administration. Another official inside the FBI wrote that she was running a shadow government to keep intelligence about China's election meddling from becoming known. The Chinese hacked while the Democrats denied, according to Trump, and subsequent documents to be released Thursday. In the spring of summer in 2020, the intelligence community, known as the IC, began detecting the Chinese illegal acquisition of voter databases. At the time, the number of voter files was in the millions. The documents reportedly revealed that there was a concerted, conscientious effort by the intelligence community to not tell the president, Trump at the time, Congress, or the American people, because nothing was done by former President Joe Biden's administration to stop the Chinese activities, et cetera, et cetera. It's pretty detailed. There's a lot of information out there, and Donald Trump has said, I'm going to put all these documents out there, and they do have the names, I guess, of the people that were referring to themselves as the shadow government, and it looks like we could be getting some perp walk coming up here real soon. So if you watch the speech, give us your thoughts on that, but read some bombshells. It's the stuff that movies are made of. It's the stuff that you hear of happening in third world countries. And unfortunately, it happened here in 2020 in the United States. And I would dare say it's happening in other places, cities, states, municipalities, etc., on a regular basis. And we need to be able to have confidence in our election. In your state, in your city, in your municipality, in your nation, where do you feel most secure and unsecure that your vote actually matters? When it comes to local elections for mayor or dog catcher, do you feel that your votes count? Do you feel it's fair? Okay, let's go on. When you go to the county or state level, do you feel like your vote is counted, or do you feel it's all rigged? when you go to federal elections, national elections, how many of you feel like your, let's say Congress and Senate, do you feel like your vote counts? And then when you're president, do you feel, I'm guessing a lot of folks say, well, I'm probably safe on this level of election, but I'm not safe on that level of elections. So Trump has declassified it. Do not put your head in the sand on this, my friends. Do not ignore it and pretend it's not there. Look over this information, to dissect it, and let's hope that people are held accountable. If any fraction of this is true, or if any fraction of this is provable, or if any fraction, maybe it's already proven in the documents, it looks pretty damning, but everybody's got a day in court, and these people do need to go to court for this, and we shall see, because old Autopin didn't Autopin pardon everybody preemptively. There's some of them out there. So let us know your thoughts on your elections, local, state, or statewide, or federal elections. Do you feel secure on all level of elections when you cast your ballot? How confident are you that your ballot is actually going to count? Do you have confidence in your local, state, and your U.S. election systems? Love to hear from you on that. Another topic of conversation, this is going to be a big November for the GOP in the U.S. Senate. The Senate GOP is poised to have the largest turnout of this millennium due to the Trump primaries and retirements. Usually it's the same old fossils that return there year after year into the Senate chamber, whether the Republicans or Democrat. They go back year after year after year, and there they sit there on their doofuses, on their rear ends, and do their senatorial things, right? Republicans currently have 53 seats in the upper chamber, but essentially guaranteed to see at least 8 of their ranks not return for the next Congress. And that's going to be part of that. It's going to be that they had primary challengers and got beat at the primary. Another one is just some retirement. Senators Mitch McConnell of Kentucky, Joni Ernst of Iowa, Steve Daines of Montana, Tom Tillis of North Carolina, Tommy Tuberville of Alabama have all declined to seek re-election in the November. Most of those retiring, while Tuberville is seeking a governor's mansion. So those people are all leaving. Bill Cassidy of Louisiana, and let's see, Bill Cassidy and who was it? Oh, John Cornyn in Texas lost their primary seats, and of course the unexpected passing of Lindsey Graham. So Graham has been replaced with Darlene Graham Nordone, his sister, for the remaining, but she's indicated not expected to run for a full term, meaning the seat's going to turn over in the total. So those departures represent some of those senior and influential lawmakers in the conference, setting up a dynamic reorientation in the upper chamber. This is the largest turnover of GOP senators that has happened in really a lot of years, as definitely in the millennium, but it's been a while since there's been this big of turnover. And I would argue that there should be this big of a turnover every election. But if they try to make you fearful that there's big turnover, we're going to lose a lot of people with they got tenure. They've been here a while. I don't care. There needs to be a rotating of the crops every once in a while, and these old crops that are resigning, retiring, and moving on. Unfortunately, some of those crops have been stagnant. It's time to bring up some new faces. So I think this is a very, very positive thing. What else do we have? We got stories about New York City rents hitting an all-time high. Gee, I wonder why. You have stories about Dr. Oz taking on chronic diseases in the U.S. I think we should ask more, and we should probably talk more on the program about the Maha movement, Make America Healthy Again, is that in America, we have all these chronic diseases. Many have become more chronic in recent years, and yet we're supposedly the most advanced country on the planet. Why is it that we have all these chronic diseases? They can be there's all sorts of chronic diseases and that happen. And why is it that we have that? It's I feel a question. Why don't we ask more questions about it? Why do we have such a sudden outbreak of autism? It's just a fair question. We should investigate it. But for some reason, some folks don't want to. And the chronic disease issue in the United States is being taken on by Dr. Oz right now. And we should talk about that as well. By the way, the Federal Reserve itself has said that the reason why the cost of housing has gone up across America, the Federal Reserve investigated and said that the Biden immigration policy caused a 30% housing increase. There were so many illegals brought into this country competing for beds available and roofs available. The supply and demand, simple law, went into effect, and the cost of housing went up 30%, 30 darn percent. Because of the Biden immigration policy, because of the supply and demand. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to do something very special here on the program. We're going to take a break from me yapping, and we're going to take you via camera to Rwanda. Rwanda is where I adopted my son River back in, it's been 18 years ago. He's 21 now. And this is a video of him back when, right at the end of his high school year. It's his high school spring break. Took him and some friends and other folks over to Rwanda. We did a ribbon cutting for the first phase or the first building of our Legacy Christian Academy campus. But this is also where we take a visit back to where we take a look back to where River was found and his whole story, and he gets to kind of tell his story in his voice. So looking forward to that on the program. And I want to play this for you now, if we may. And everybody stand by. This is going to take a little bit of time. This is the full documentary. Producer Chad put this together. He was on the trip. I'm not sure if he got any selfies in there. In this video, you'll see some people that are listeners or watchers of the show, but you'll see, see if you can identify them and you can comment during them. But I want you to watch this. If you're listening on the audio portion of the show, you can go watch it later on. It's on the Rivers Promise website, riverspromise.com. But this is it. This is going to last a little bit of time. We'll come back. We will have Sherry Cream. We will have Doug Giles coming up on the program, but I want you to see kind of behind the scenes. We tell you to watch this. I know sometimes you don't do it. I think it's a great video, and I watched it the other night at Whole Producer Chat. I said, we got to play that again. We've now shared for everyone. It's such a well-done piece of drama. So, ladies and gentlemen, I may pop back on the side screen, but I'm going to disappear off your screen, and I want you to watch this, the work of Producer Chad, and it's called River's Return to Rwanda. Roll the tape.
My name is River Lakey, and I was adopted from Rwanda when I was 4 years old. I don't remember much from when I was younger, but now that I'm older, I can definitely have a different perspective on things, and I can appreciate the people of Rwanda and the country that I'm from. On the first day, we went to the Genocide Memorial. The genocide that happened in 1994 is an important part of Rwandan history. And to understand the culture of Rwanda today, you must understand and honor what happened almost 30 years ago. There are over 250,000 Rwandans buried here at this memorial. While I have no idea who my blood relatives are, I wonder if any of them are here. That's why it's important to me to honor them with a wreath laying. The night I was born, I was left in a ditch just outside of home in Kigali. I've never met the family that found me that night. Today, they invited us into their home to share their stories of that night.
Now this man is is a good man, a beautiful man, because you become a hand and feet of Jesus. And I want also to thank Jimmy for
For being so beautiful.
I don't know who is lucky, him or him who found who. So they got he has a good home, good dad. Jimmy is father to other young men here also who go with Jimmy. I follow them on Facebook. He's becoming a leader. And I'm very proud of him. And we cannot wait to see what God will do with this young man. God has a big plan. Like the Bible said, I know the plan I have for you. It was not for evil. It was not to destroy. It was to build his house so he can be a blessing. So Jimmy told me he wants to adopt a child from Africa. So I thought it was easy thing. I went to an orphanage, and there was like 50, 60 kids somewhere. I took all of them. Interestingly, he was the one who didn't want me to take his picture. He did. No, so when I tried to take, Riva was crying. He was like, ah! He was scary to death. But anyway, I took the picture. But I took the picture, him crying. When the other kid was doing this, but Riva didn't want me to take the picture. Didn't want me to take the picture. So I took those pictures and sent it to Jimmy. Jimmy, after prayer, he picked Riva, the one who was crying. The one who didn't want to take a picture. That really surprised me.
The only one that wasn't smiling.
Yeah, he's the only one who didn't smile. I was like crying and scary to death. And I remember even the clothes is still here in my head. I still see that picture. So he said, this is the one I picked. I said, okay, we start. For me, I thought it will be a quick fix. We would just go to the immigration and do the paper and we're done. We started the process, going the process. We reached to the need for the minister, adoption to get the signature. We met a lady called Veronica. Oh, she gave me hard time. I'll come every day. She would tell me, come tomorrow. Come again, come tomorrow. And every day Jimmy will call me, Willie, where are you? I say, tomorrow. And then we got it. Now I say, I tell people, I say, I'm going to run to Congo to the bushes. I don't want to receive a phone call from Jimmy again. He's looking for me every day. Every morning I'll start my day. Hello, Willie, where are you? I say, oh God, help me. What to do? I go to the thing. They say, now you need to start the whole story. How this child, the story of this child must be known before we sign the thing. Jimmy came twice, meeting, didn't work. So finally we found the story, we came here, I met again with the mama, we have the government, they write us the letter, we went up to the ministry again. Still is not working. He is the only child in Rwanda who left this country, not be the Catholic Church, the Catholic orphan. He's the only one. There is not that. All other kids who left the country were from the Catholic. So he is a baby miracle. So one day I went with Jimmy and we met with Dr. Murigande. And we exposed him, we told him how we need this child to be adopted. So Dr. Murigande said, I will make a phone call. Let's see. We call and make a phone call. And the next day, the Pope signed. It was a miracle. It was a miracle. After how many years?
2.5.
Two
A
and-
year and a half. 2.5.
2.5 years. That way I said, Jimmy does not give up. He didn't want to give up. It's me who wanted to give up. I was praying, but he didn't want to give up. All this, and every day he will call. Every day, every single day. Jimmy will call. Willie. When I see the table, I say, in Jesus' name. It didn't work. So we got the phone. We went and pick. I was not there. Now you say how you went to pick him from the orphanage.
Oh, we went to.
Let's say the story when we went to give the scholastic material.
Oh,
to
then
other kids.
I'm looking for the photo.
And they told us to not tell him that he will be adopted. So Jimmy came, and we are giving all the kids the scholastic material in orphanage. And Jimmy, they told him, please, Jimmy, don't show favoritism about this child. Everybody must be equally. Don't say anything until the baby is out. So Jimmy is there, is giving, the television is there, the radio is there, and everybody's getting scholastic material. Everybody in the Rivers is getting scholastic material. Hey, Jimmy, he just, when it's time for a picture, he pick River.
He stayed with me. He was following me.
I said, Jimmy, you are not supposed to. He pick River. And when he pick River, here, it was written Colorado. So for him, he said, this is a sign from God. I'll get this baby. Okay, you can say
This
now
is
you're
last time he was here.
Okay.
In front of the gate.
Yeah.
4th grade? That was your 4th grade here?
Last time I was here, 8th grade, but I don't know what
First
that. Oh, yeah, 1st grade.
4th grade. Imagine the rain we had this morning. It was a heavy, heavy rain.
It was 26 on April.
There was angels activity around him like Moses.
Yes.
So you are not dying, you are not dying, you will not die. Because even the cold could kill him. Just forget about the rain. Even the cold could kill him.
Nde? Inde? Gakwerere aracyahaba se? Gakwerere aracyahaba.
I think they say the man who was calling, his name is Gakwere, he died. He's the one calling, hey, there is a baby here. The baby was here, the clothes was here. Even the car was coming, maybe the car could also kill him. But I think the activity of angel was so many around him. So. No, plan of that. No, you will not die, you will live.
So he was there. The wall was already there. Yeah. Okay. We put a brick here.
Monument.
River.
When you become a big star.
River laid here.
On day 2, we took our first trip to the village. The village is about 45 minutes outside of Kigali and where we are building our new school. Our return to the village is always greeted by the women and children singing and dancing.
turabishimiye cyane.
Willie, interpret.
We are so happy.
Twishimiye kubakira hano
Welcome you
muri
here
iki cyaro cy'iwacu.
in this village.
Twarishimye cyane kubona mudukorera ibikorwa nk'ibi mukatwubakira ishuri
We are
nk'iri.
surprised. We are so amazed to see how you build a wonderful school like this in this village.
Ariko Jimmy yaraje adukorera ibitangaza, ubu abana bacu ba mbere bari mu wa gatandatu wa segonderi.
So we got a miracle. Some of our kids now are in senior 6 now.
Turamushima cyane kandi turashima n'abaterankunga bandi
We
bose.
thank God, we thank Jimmy, and we thank all the sponsors.
Twasabaga rero Jimmy Papa Kazungu yuko atubwira abashyitsi.
We want just Jimmy to say something.
You know this beautiful campus.
Murabona ishuri ukuntu rimaze kuba n'ibirahuri byiza.
And there's more buildings coming soon.
Hagiye kuza ibindi biruta ibi.
But it is called, when we are done here,
Niturangiza
we will have nursery through senior 6.
tuzaba dutangira muri gardienne kugeza amashuri yisumbuye.
All here.
Byose hano.
But the school is called Rivers Promise Legacy
Ishuri
Academy.
yitwa Rivers Promise Academy.
And River is my son.
River ni umuhungu wanje.
And when I adopted him from Rwanda,
Uyu muhungu namukuye mu Rwanda.
I made a promise
Namuhaye isezerano.
to take care of other children in
Uko
Rwanda.
nzakomeza kwita ku bana b'Abanyarwanda.
I could only take one to America,
Nashoboye gutwara umwe gusa muri Amerika.
but I could try to take care of as many as
ariko
possible.
nafasha abana b'abakene benshi hano mu
And we
Rwanda
have many great donors.
kandi tumaze kubona abantu benshi badufasha
Some are here, some sponsor, some
bamwe bari hano bafasha abana muri
donate to build
sponsor.
school.
bamwe baduhaye n'amafaranga kubaka ibintu.
And some students in high school or senior school in America
n'abandi bagiye n'abandi bataraje
have all come to make the journey to see this.
bariko badufasha ngo twubake ibi ngibi.
But I'm very happy. Papa Kazungu is very happy
Papa Kazungu ari wewe arishimye cyane
that my son, River,
uwo mwana wanje
who is named the promise of building the
uwo
schools for
nahaye
him,
isezerano ko nzahita ku bandi bana b'abanyarwanda
my son is with me.
uyu munsi yaje hano
My son, River.
nguyu
He has been here once before when he was little,
yaje rimwe akiri muto cyane
but now he is senior 6 in
ubu
America.
noneho yarangije agiye kurangiza amashuri yisumbuye
And next year will be in university.
umwaka utaha azatangira kaminuza
But we wanted to come see the school that we built.
yashatse nawe kuza kureba ishuri twubase hano
So this is my son.
uyu ni umuhungu wanje
Thank you for welcoming us.
mwakoze kutwakira
We will talk more on Thursday. And we'll have big celebration.
tuzashima cyane
Bring your best dance moves.
muze mwiteguye wakane mwize mwiteguye kubyina cyane.
Our engineer, Patrick, took us on a tour of the new building. It was exciting to see classrooms pretty much done and ready for children. After touring the new school and planting a tree in honor of it, we had some time to play with the kids. On day 3, we visited the orphanage. I don't remember my time at the orphanage, but there's something about coming here that seems oddly familiar. My dad always talks about how the children there would hear his car approach and they would line up to greet him. Today, the orphanage is closed and now it's a security training facility.
I'd pull my car up here all the time. I'd come to see River, and I'd pull my car up, and the kids would hear the car. There's not obviously a lot of cars up here. They would hear, and they would line up where those brick walls are between the buildings. Those were fences. And the kids would all line up, go, Papa Kazungu, Papa, Papa, Papa. And they could hear the car coming. This was all dirt. And you would slide your rear end down here if you weren't careful. So yeah, where that blue door is, those were all chain link fences. And the kids would line up there and there. And as I walked back up the hill, they'd move from fence to fence. Papa, take me with you. We called it Guantanamo. Willie and I called it Guantanamo. It'd say, Jimmy, you have to get the kids out of Guantanamo prison. And now they rent it out, looks like, for security guards, training. But that was a small playground. And then down there, all the kids would go play. There's water. So in the rains, they'd have to keep the little kids out of it because they're afraid they'd drown. The water would start running down there. They wouldn't let the little kids out of the gates when it was raining like it did the other day because they're afraid the kids would get washed down the river somewhere. And it happened, not here, but other places.
After the orphanage, we met up with John Paul and his brother Vincent, who were also at the orphanage with me. We went to see an old woman named Tabo, who cared for me while I was at the orphanage.
You remember me?
Yes.
I'm Vincent.
Vincent, yes, I do.
Yeah.
You're John Paul's brother.
Yeah, yes. You remember him?
Yes, Vincent.
nongeye kukubona.
She's so excited. She says, so excited to meet you.
Ah,
Papa Kazungu.
Papa Kazungu.
Ah,
Warakoze.
yes. He's big. Big man.
Warakoze kunyakira.
Oh,
Thank you so much
yes.
to come to visit her.
Yes. Yes.
Sawa. Amateka yanjye na Kazungu ni maremare. Riva ubundi bamwitaga Muyizi. Ariko Muyizi wanjye amateka ye ni maremare. Muyizi umwana yararwaye arandwarana mu bitaro biba birebire arapfa. none wongeye kuri wese nsanga umwana amaje gutirita abapfu ndavuga mana nimbura imana koko wangaruriye umwana wanjye nkazamubona ari umusore nkazamubona yarakuze none imana yaramunyeretse mbona ari umusore mana yanjye
What did she say, Jonas?
She says,
Kazungu
I love so much.
Kazungu tujya mu bitaro mburu mama tambura
She calls him Moise. She says when she was living with her, Moise got sick and he was about dying. And he went in a hospital. She was praying, God, if you are God, please don't let that Moise river die. She prayed, and she was answered, and river was improving.
tukongera tugahura uri umusore tukongera tugahura bako papa Moise akakunyereka uri umusore uri umwana
I thank God for meeting again with River and Papa River, Papa Kazungu. I'm so excited to see him growing. He's now a big man. Oh. The history of Moise and I is so long in hospital, in orphanage. I'm so glad, I'm so excited to see him now again.
She said last time we were here, when we were here last time, she said she thought he was in Europe. And she always prayed, God, don't let me die until I see Moise come back from Europe. So he was in there. And then when we left, I asked her, I said, do you feel good? She goes, now I pray, God, don't let me die until I go to Moise's wedding. So,
ubushize ngo warasenze uravuga ngo mana uzamfashe nzapfe ari uko nongeye kubona Moise Kazungu ngo kandi nzabone n'ubukwe bwe ngo none uramubonye aragarutse
ubukwe bwiza kandi uzaguha umugore mwiza utuje Kazungu rwose mwana wanjye ntuzambabaze sinzakubabaza kuko narababaye hariya mbabara cyane nk'umuntu wigeze kukubyaraho nka nyogokuru wawe ngiye kukwereka agafoto bagusasiye aha ngaha
kazana. She says, Moise Kazungu River, keep as a good child. I pray for you. God will give you a good life, a good wife, a good children. And I'm going to bring a photo when you were lying here, sleeping here, when you are still a child. Oh, wonderful.
I've never seen that. I've never seen that. Let me take a photo of it.
It's a little weird because the cutout part, but it makes it look a little better than just like a picture.
Cool. Is this her?
No.
No.
Aurora.
Who's this?
Adora.
Daughter.
Congo.
Kazungu andi nongeye kumubona
Kazungu. I'm so excited. I don't know what to say.
Did she think we were coming? Did she? Yeah. When he was little, we brought him. Did she ever expect us to come back again?
Watekerezaga yuko azongera kugaruka?
Ntabwo natekerezaga ko nzongera kumubona ariko nagumaga gusenga ngo nzare azakure amenye gushinga urugo amenye kuko gukura akamenya yuko akamenya bagenzi be n'abakimenya.
She was not expected to see him again, but she was keep praying that Kazungu come back as a big man.
Papa Kazungu ndagushima cyane.
God. And Papa Kazungu.
Papa Kazungu.
I love you so much, Papa Kazungu.
Azakomeze komeza uzaza ugaruka nusanga ntarapfuye uzateza bashiki bawe imbere
come again. If you meet me alive, I will thank God. If you don't meet me alive, you will find your sisters here living here. Please come and greet them.
On the last day, we returned to the village for the ribbon cutting ceremony of the new school. My dad and I were amazed at how many people showed up.
Pretty cool, huh?
Jimmy, we thank Jimmy. Was since day one we start up to the day we finish, he was connected with us. Many people got a job here. I didn't beat myself. The more than 100 people work here. All the people we use is only people who live here. We thank you. Thank you for what you did to change the economy of this place. God bless you and continue to bless you.
Amakuru. Amakuru. Thank you for coming today. This is a big day of celebration. As we celebrate the first building for our new school. Look at the building there. That is River's Promise. Legacy Christian Academy. I want you to look at that building and I want you to look this way. And another building will be going there. And then look this way behind the tent. Another building will go here. And then right where we sit and stand, this will be a restaurant, a cafeteria for all the students to eat food. And so our goal is that everyone, every child, has the opportunity to have the education to climb from poverty. We want every child here to have access to education, because education is a ladder that you can use to climb out of a pit. And many people are in the pit of poverty. And education is how you climb out. So thank you for coming today. Before I stop speaking, if you do not know why I do what I do, it's because I made a promise many years ago to my son, who is a son of Rwanda. He was adopted from here. And I never wanted him to look at a photo of Rwanda and say, Dad, Father, what happened to the other children? I wanted him to know that we did everything we could to help other children in Rwanda. And so that was my promise to my son. And that his name is River. And that is why I call it River's Promise. And today my son is here. So thank you again
Akoze cyane.
And I want you to welcome my son, River.
Ndashaka ngo mwakire umuhungu wanje River.
I know it's hot,
Harashushe.
and we've been talking a while.
Tumaze umwanya hano.
But he is the reason this is happening.
Niwe nahaye isezerano.
Because I made a promise.
Kuko namuhaye isezerano.
And I don't like breaking promises.
Kandi njyewe iyo nagusezeranye.
If you make a promise, keep it.
Iyo nagusezeranye.
And so here's my son, River, to say hello.
River aze mumukomera amashi cyane.
You're on the spot now. Love you, kiddo.
Tazi Kinyarwanda ariko ni umunyarwanda atazi Kinyarwanda. I say he cannot speak Kinyarwanda, but even he's from Rwanda. Say something in Kinyarwanda.
Amakuru. In America, we know education is very important.
Muri Amerika tuzi kuko kwiga ari iby'ingenzi cyane.
So we give the gift of education to Rwanda.
None turiko turafasha abanyarwanda kwiga.
Just like me, I have dream just like all of you.
Njyewe mfite amaraso yanyu mwese naje ndi umunyarwanda.
And I carry and I hold my legacy and my promise to all of you guys.
None ndashaka ko mwese mugira ubuzima bwiza.
To give education so you guys can get your dreams and make them become true.
Ndashaka ko mwiga kandi inzozi zanyu zizaba ukuri.
God bless all of you.
Imana ibahe umugisha mwese.
Jesus loves all of you.
Yesu arabakunda cyane mwese. Amen.
Amen.
Hallelujah. Mumukomera amashi cyane.
In a moment, we are going to go down the hill
Mukanya gatoya turaja hariya.
and cut the ribbon
Turaza kufungura ku mugaragaro
to
igiciro cya mbere.
open our building.
Tusaba ko dutangira n'igiciro cya kabiri.
Ooh, it's warm up there, buddy. Ready? Ready? Here we go. Woo! Thank you. Thank you. Just like that, we cut a ribbon.
Thank you for watching my return back to Rwanda. For more information, you can visit www.riverspromise.org.
And just like that, my friends, that was the 30 minutes of your life. I wanted you to see it. You see, I think you're on Rumble. Well, we were standing there by the old house and talking to the lady named Tabo. There was a Mzungu. That means a honky, a white guy standing behind my son and I. And the Mzungu standing back there was Obnoxious Scott. And he commented on Rumble. He says, I didn't do a good job of hiding that day. And I replied back, oh, you blended right in. Yeah, we just thought it was another African there. So Scott was there. At the very end, you see the beautiful couple in the black and white photo kneeling down with a child. If you were paying attention, you did. That would have been, you ready? That would have been Sherry Cree. She's about to join us on the program here. And that would have been Sherry and her very handsome and good-looking husband, Roger. So, yeah, that would have been there. So, anyway, if you want to watch that again, share it to your friends. We'd love for you to do that. I know because I say go to the website, and I know what happens. I hear it all the time. People tell me to go to the website. I say, oh, sure, I will. I never do. And so I wanted to bring it right to you. I thought it would just kind of be a great way for a Friday to reflect and say sometimes don't be all upset about everything around you in the news. Sometimes there's ways you can make a difference and make the world a better place in the ways that politicians can't. So that video is on the website. Watch it as a family. Watch it again. And I wanted to show it to you. So thank you for watching it. I appreciate it. All right. If you'd like to learn more about Rivers Promise, of course, riverspromise.org is the website, riverspromise.org. Our golf events coming up in September, less than a couple of months away, September the 10th, a Thursday, sponsorship, registration, etc. All of that is available. We'd love to have you there. Matter of fact, I hope to have you there. And thank you. Absolutely beautiful first building. Jim says, wow. By the way, that building, we didn't explain that. I've got to go to Sherry Cree, but that building is the first, Stacy says, great video, neat story, or something like that. It flashed there quick. That's good. That building was the first electrified building with electricity for miles around. So we took a lot of effort and expense to get the power down there and figure out where we're going to take power from. And also, it has running water. And, we think, well, it's got to have running water. So just go, no. It has running water and flushing toilets. That's a miracle in and of itself in a place like that. And for a while, it took a while for people to use the flushing toilet. And then they bought kids' toilets instead of it. We've had problems. They're not used to the toilet culture, if you will. So, but we got flushing water there. Right? It's really a cool place, and we thank all of you who helped build it. We got more to build. You saw that we're not done. We're working on some more construction funds right now and sponsorship funds. So anyway, riverspromise.org. Enough of that. All right, let me welcome into the program Sherry Cree, great friend of the show, realtor extraordinaire. She happened to be caught on that video a couple of times, and might as well bring Sherry in. And Sherry, you were on that trip with us, weren't you?
Yes, it still gives me goosebumps to watch that.
I have video evidence you were there. You cannot deny it. You were there. You were there at the very end. So we're glad you got to go along. Maybe you get to go back with us again sometime. That'd be great. Sherry, I'm going to talk real estate here. I was thinking, you sent me a couple of ideas maybe we could talk about this week, and one of them kind of jumped off the table because here's what I think happens in a real estate purchase, and I want you to tell me different. I like a house. I say, okay, I'm going to make an offer, and I want a carpet allowance, and I want this, and I make an offer, and then the seller says, okay, we accept the offer. We come to terms. We're under contract, and it's pretty much done. The eyes on the banking. The banking's going to get done, sign some papers. The negotiation's over at that point. And I'm reading your topic that no, once it's under contract, there can still be some negotiation.
Yes.
So what kind of negotiation happens? I thought we already agreed on the selling and the buying of the house. What are we going to argue about now?
So when you are, as a buyer, when you're making an offer or touring a property that you're interested in, let's say I'm the buyer's agent, and I'm not going to be crawl into the crawl space or jump up on a roof, attic. I am not an inspector. So we tour homes and make a decision to making an offer. Very short time, like I would say average 15 to 20 minutes visiting a property, and then buyers making an offer. So once you negotiate the contract terms and go under contract, what happens is it moves, the purchase moves to buyer's due diligence period. So once you're under contract, while you're under contract, up to the closing, that's when buyer does all the due diligence. And in the Colorado purchase contract, there are 5 contingencies built into the standard contract, and clear title. And if it's in the HOA community, you get to review HOA documents. It could be declaration, bylaws, rules, and regulations. Their financials. It's that you may discover something that you changes your decision to live in that community. And then physical condition of the property. That's what I talked about, inspection. When they are writing in an offer and going under contract, you don't know what problems that the condition of the house may have. And then if you're paying cash, typically just the three contingencies. But if you're financing the property, your bank wants to have a home appraised and make sure that the home has the value that is agreed upon in a contract in order to base lending upon. And then finally, your loan has to come through. The underwriting of the loan has to come through in order to purchase the property. So there are 5 standard contingencies built in the contract. And then sometimes you have additional contingencies like contingent on the sale of your current home that funds your purchase. So there are just going under contract is just a beginning of exclusive negotiation period. And then once you're under contract, buyer performs all those due diligence. And along the way, if there's any issues come up, then it'll be all negotiated.
So what's the number one thing in your experience? I'm sure there's a lot of things you've seen contracts. Oh, it's going to happen. And then the whole thing blows up. Is there kind of a top thing that ends up blowing up the contract? Is it the repair of the house, HOA regulations? Is there kind of a top one? Or are they all pretty equal in what might end a contract?
Well, when a buyer goes under contract, that they are, typically most of the time that you have a pre-qualification for the loan. So that part is kind of prepared, unless there's something unforeseen event happens.
Sure.
So the biggest contingency that typically the contract, may, fall apart is the inspection, physical condition of the house. And then it could be negotiated seller to address it, like a repair it, or, it could be negotiated financially to, reflect whatever the problem is, and in order for buyer to move forward. But you have to remember, buyer has a right to terminate upon inspection, which inspection doesn't mean you hire the, inspector. You could say, I inspected a house, it doesn't satisfy my purchase intent, and you could terminate. And I'm not encouraging anybody to, get into contract in bad faith. However, that's no questions asked. You don't have to prove or build a case that it's a big issue. You just say, inspected the house, I no longer wants to move forward.
Yeah.
So they have an option to terminate too and get the honest money back.
So the buyer's protected up until the time they're ready to rock and roll. I was thinking of just so many things that we've talked about, of the colonoscopy of a home and the bad breath of a home and the odors, and a lot of that you get to the core of that in that inspection period. Is there kind of a common inspection objection that happens? Like, okay, I mean, you already knew the carpet was kind of rough whenever you viewed the house. So I'm guessing you're not waiting until inspection to do that. Is there number one thing that comes back from the inspectors in certain homes that you go, yeah, people should be paying attention to this because the inspectors seem to always catch it?
Well, let's see. So the inspections could be something like a big ticket item. And then inspections could reveal some minor things, that the door doesn't latch correctly, things like that. So by concept, inspection is a buyer's protection, protecting buyer from purchasing something that, with a major hidden problem that you're not aware of. So by concept, inspection objection items should be something that will, be, kill the deal, the big deal. Sure. You're not supposed to, terminate the contract because the one of the interior door handle is broken or anything like that. So.
I've got one more question. You sometimes drive by a home and you say under contract, and it sounds like under contract, it's just moving the sale into one-on-one negotiation. So if you're somebody that said, darn it, they're under contract, I like that house, I want to see it. Is it worth calling your realtor, calling maybe Sherry and say, hey, Sherry, this is under contract, but could we put an alternative? I mean, is it ever worth that? Just because you see a sign that says under contract, is it worth kind of considering to knock on the door?
Absolutely. I hear different numbers, but 20% of the all contract fall through for whatever reason. And typically, after the inspection resolution is reached or inspection resolution deadline is passed, we kind of start planning for the closing appointments and moving arrangements and things like that. So the inspection objection is cleared. It's pretty much sold unless something unforeseen things happen with the financing or something that yeah.
All right, that's Sherry Cree. And Sherry, if folks said, the more you think about the details of it, you think, I do put a sign in the yard and clean up the house, and somebody's going to want to do it, but there's a lot of moving parts. It seems like if you don't have a realtor walking you through this, I know some people have tried this for sale by owner or kind of some of these self-serve, they advertise low commission, but you're kind of on your own, and they do some contract. It seems like if you're the buyer or the seller, I would avoid that. I want somebody that can walk me through every detail of it because I'm going to miss something. I promise you.
Yeah, that's the most stressful thing for the seller is like a surprised big issue, the buyer terminating. So that's why pre-listing inspection is very important. The roof, sewer line, HVAC system, which is typically Colorado furnace and AC. Those 3 items needs to be pre-inspected, so there's no major items coming up by surprise on the buyer inspection.
Yeah. Sherry, folks want to get in touch with you in Colorado. You're able to help them with their real estate and walk them through a buying or selling. Homeswithsherry.com right there on the screen. Homeswithsherry.com. If you're out of state, you're welcome to reach out to Sherry. She can give you a referral if there's an area that she doesn't work in. Even in Colorado, she can give you the referral. Homeswithsherry.com. Homeswithsherry.com. You get to see her twice during the interview and the African video. So homeswithsherry.com. Sherry, thanks for hopping on. Appreciate you. I understand Sherry is going to play in a tennis tournament today. We'll find out next week how she fares in the tennis tournament. Good luck. Go with God. Tennis tournament. It's hot. I hope it's an indoor tennis tournament. All right, ladies and gentlemen, glad to have you here on the Friday edition of the show. I'll bring in Doug Giles. If you missed earlier in the program, go back and watch. We got to preview or show the entire mini documentary from Africa, Rivers Promise. I'd love for you to go check it out. Arloa's commenting as she watched the video with us and said, so moving. Thanks for sharing all that with us. God bless you and River for all the many, many people who help and support your work. Thank you, Arloa. We appreciate it. Occasionally, I look at the list of donors, and there's Arloa's name on it. God bless you. We appreciate it. If you missed it, go back and you can watch that in full, the full video that we showed earlier. You can go to riverspromise.org, and you can pull it up. It's called Rivers Return. It's on our media page. It's work done by producer Chad. It'll take about 30-something minutes of your life, but we'd like you to go watch it because I know people say, go to Jimmy's website, go to Doug's website, go to somebody's website. And I know what happens. You don't do it. We get busy. And so this was me just wanting to kind of put it in front of you and say you should. Like I'll say, go to Doug Giles' website, but you may not go. So what do? I put Doug Giles right in front of you. That way you kind of get the feel for it. Doug Giles, welcome to the program, my brother from a different mother.
Jimmy, how you doing, big dog?
I'm doing quite well. You're getting a little rain down in Texas, I hear. A lot of rain.
Yeah, man. Most of the action was about an hour west of where we live, but I think we got like 6 inches, but they got like 2 feet. Wow. And so the rain that smashed us just a couple of days ago, or smashed them over around Kerrville, it was more rain than what they got last July that killed all those little children. Wow. But they had, the savvy not to put campers next to rivers, and they upgraded greatly their early warning system. And I think so far only 4 people have died, but it's nuts, man. Because I mean the flood last year, it's like this is a 1,000-year flood, and the one that we got just a couple of days ago, it exceeded what happened last year, man.
People don't understand. I live in Colorado. I'm from Texas, but Colorado is a high desert. And so when it rains here, yes, it'll flood 1,000-year flood or whatever, but it can rain in 15 minutes. The desert, the dry air, you have no sign of it. It just soaks right into the sand, the dirt, the clay, wherever it goes. That area of Texas is a lot of rock. There's nowhere for it to go. It just, it's not going to soak in. It's going to go downstream. And that's the topography there that adds to this.
Yeah, we're thinking about cutting a pool at our place, and the problem is that once you go, I don't know, about 10 inches down, you hit solid rock, and it's right. I mean, it's nothing but a freaking hard surface. It doesn't penetrate, and we got a lot of hills, and man, that stuff. Whew,
yeah,
it's crazy, the destruction. Got a buddy who lives on the Llano River about an hour and a half from us, and that river rose 20 feet and damn near into his backyard. And he lives, I think about a quarter of a mile away from the river, and so it breached and went all the way up. I mean, just
wow.
And just there was a video on San Antonio news of several deer just getting swept away by the river. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do except avoid it,
Yeah. You sent me an article that's at douggiles.net, and it's on. You've put it up via Instagram as well. The headline, switching gears from the floods, going back to the founding of the country: the American church is spawning wussies, not warriors. And then to start it off, you give a list of America's revolutionary generation, and we kind of picture them in old guys with powdered wigs. I'll read from your article. James Monroe was 18, Aaron Burr was 20, Alexander Hamilton 19, James Madison was 25, Thomas Paine was 39. Washington was only 44. We kind of think of him as an 80-year-old elder statesman, but you've written a whole column saying we're not spawning these kind of revolutionaries anymore. Go ahead.
Yeah, again, it was revelatory to me, man, that they were that young. I mean, again, I'm an artist, so you look at all the depictions. My dog's going crazy. Look at all the depictions of the founders and framers, and they're guys who wear stockings and knickers, and they've got white powdered wigs. They're freaking teenagers. And even the signing of the Declaration of Independence, aside from the Revolution, you got 6 of them were in their 20s, 17 were in their 30s, 17 were in their 40s. Rad, shut up. You got 9 in their 50s. 6 in their 60s, and 1 70-year-old cat. Bro, that's not the impression that I got. Red, hush. And because again, through artwork, all it is a bunch of old fat cats and stuff.
Yeah,
sitting around smoking pipes and changing the planet. And again, that was revelatory to me, man. When I got turned on to that intel.
And so you have these young guys, and they're taking on the king. It's just an amazing story. And your headline of the whole article, though, is the American church is spawning wussies, not warriors. Let's make this connection between our founding fathers, or more like founding big brothers, because they were just teenagers, and the American church today.
Yeah. So again, what's lost on a lot of people when they look into our founders and framers is that they were serious Christians. Even Franklin and Jefferson and Madison, they might have been deist or not evangelical in their faith and stuff. But these guys took the word of God seriously. They attended church. These were serious Christian men. And what the church spawned back then were these kind of cats that told King George in his snaggletooth mouth to go pound sand that they're not going to take their tyranny. And the thing that is amazing to me is that, again, the preponderance of these cats who founded and framed our nation, our founding fathers, again, they were Christian. And you look at the church now, you fast forward, it's like, what kind of young men are we raising up in the church nowadays? It's not this kind of stuff. They don't have that kind of singular metal that will tell oppressive governments and tyrants to go eat, when they tried to put their draconian claws in their back and enslave them. And it's just amazing. You know, again, these guys, they're young. They were commanding troops. What else are they doing? They're dropping Brits. They're crafting constitution. They're fighting over political philosophy, creating financial system, negotiating alliances, risking their life, their wealth, and their sacred honor for an idea that had never been attempted. And again, they were Christian. By and large, they were Christian. They're not, you know, they weren't on their iPhones. They don't have eye posture. They're not weak, anemic, you know, poor me victims. I mean, and again, you know, that's what the church used to crank out, man. And if we want to really honor those cats that founded this grand experiment in self-governance on our 250th birthday, then we should tear a page from their pastor's playbook and treat these young men serious that we have under our tutelage at, you know, whatever church, America.
You think of the wisdom of these guys. You're young, they're teenagers, they're early 20s, and they start and write the thing, hey, we are endowed with our creator by certain inalienable rights. To be that young and to recognize, hey, because at that age, you're invincible, you can do anything. I mean, the world is your oyster. And they're pausing it as 19, 20-year-olds going, hey, my creator has brought me here. My creator has given me these rights. It's not me. It's not that I'm such a hot 19, 20-year-old. Even that kind of wisdom coming from those fellas is pretty spectacular for a teenager, college-age kid, what we would consider, to be able to just say, hey, it's not about me. It's not what I get, but God gave this to me. God gave me this rights. That's pretty deep in and of itself. You think that's wisdom of a 60-year-old, not a 18-year-old.
Yeah, again, and it's, you know, people think that I'm flogging a dead horse all the time when I talk about the woeful aspect of the stupidity of young people nowadays. Like, look, they're tech geniuses. They know how to navigate TikTok and Instagram and social media. But again, these perspicacious points of, you know, of these macro issues of liberty and freedom. And not only just are they espousing these incredible things that yielded up the greatest nation ever to grace this third rock from the sun, but they had the freaking moxie, man. It's like, you want to take our guns? I'm going to shoot you in the face. You want to increase our taxes just a scooch, and you want us to pay us without you representing? They were ready to throw down. I mean, this is a combination of not only intelligence but chutzpah, courage, and again, they sacrificed greatly, man. Some of them lost, you know, obviously their lives. Other ones lost wealth. They were shunned. They were banished, but they didn't care. They had conviction, man, and they couldn't be bought off. And they understood it's a live free or die situation. And again, that hails from the scripture, Jimmy, and you know this. Jesus said, if the Son sets you free, you're free indeed. Paul said that where the Spirit of Christ is, there is liberty. And he said, I will be enslaved to no man in 1 Corinthians chapter 2. Dude, that is the funky bottom line bass note of these, again, predominantly young people. Most of them are way under 30. And you got a lot of teenagers in there. And, bro, I haven't been around a teenager like that in many, many moons, big dog.
Yeah. You wrote a book years ago, that I say 10 years ago, when you and I first started talking. It's called Pussification, the Effeminization of the American Male. Great book. You should get a copy of it. And this article kind of goes with it and say, we're not putting out these kind of guys anymore. And that these guys were churchgoers. And what's your church producing? What's the bottom line of the story? Where's the... we found the point of pain. What's the point of solution? If pastors are listening, if a parishioner is listening, if a young man is listening, what do we need to do to get back to this type of these types of cojones that don't seem to grow anymore?
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to get any help from the majority of churches. I believe the pulpit is a culprit in producing pussies, and I think we condescend to young people. I think we helicopter pamper and pat them on the head and don't expect anything from them. I would say, and of course I would say this, get my book, Lionhearted, Making Young Christian Males Rowdy Biblical Men. That is a no BS book that will definitely jerk any kind of slack out of some gum smacking, teenage 20-something. And in a no holds barred fashion, Jimmy, there's no book like Lionhearted. And if you've got a young teenage son, because you're not going to get it from the youth group, man. You're not going to get it from your pastor. Most pastors want to be liked. They want to be nice. Most youth group leaders are just, they want to be like Justin Bieber or Jimmy Fallon with frosted tips, of course. And they want to make Jesus cool. And I'm sick of it. And I think that is the destruction. Again, if we want, that revolutionary spirit, if we want to be these, sharp, solid, and smart young people, then you need to run from your frickin' church, because they're making pussy galores in evangelical churches. And I've got a book coming out. So 10 years later, after I wrote Pussification, it's coming Christmas 2026. It's wussification, the effeminization of the American church. Jimmy, I will be murdered for this book. It is so brutal. It's so brutal. But you know what, dude? I'm 63. I don't care. These are problems that are being really not addressed, not as pointedly and prophetically as I address them. And I think it's going to send a shockwave. Bro, I'm telling you, pastors are going to get fired. Churches are going to get vacated. Worship leaders are going to get fired. Elders and deacons are going to get fired because we're playing games. Yeah. And this is not a game. Yeah. And it's costing us our country. It's costing us culture. And it's costing us true godly influence inside the Beltway.
If folks want to read your column that we were referring to earlier, The American Church is Spawning Wussies, Not Warriors, you put it up a couple of days ago, but where can folks read that?
Yeah, just go to my little Mr. Rogers neighborhood, DougGiles.org, and just hit the blog button. It'll pop right up. DougGiles.org. DougGiles.org. Doug, we appreciate you, brother. Thanks for hopping on. Can't wait to talk about the new book. And my pastor will love the new book. I think I think you guys may be brothers from a different mother as well. So I'll make sure he gets a copy of it. Doug Giles, DougGiles.org, DougGiles.org. Go check out all things Doug. And if you're ever down in that hill country of Texas, I'm sure you can find Doug lurking around at the church. It's all on his website, DougGiles.org. Ladies and gentlemen, a pleasure to be here on the program. It's time to wrap it up for the Friday edition, heading into Saturday and Sunday. If you missed earlier in the show, how'd you like the Rivers Promise video? If you saw it, we played about 30-plus minutes of a video of a couple of years ago of myself, my son, and a group of people that went to Rwanda. Go back and rewatch it and see if you can find Scott. Obnoxious Scott, on all the platforms you see. He's actually blending in that video. He was on that trip with his esposa. Candace was there. And also there are a couple of Sherry Cree. We just talked to Sherry. They're lurking in the back of that video. Also, I noticed in that video, he doesn't comment much anymore because he doesn't like us, and I don't think he checks in the chat room anymore. But historian John P. Cole was in that video as well. So if you follow the Lakey show for many years, even back to the days of radio, there were some characters in that video that we showed earlier. If you only heard it, you didn't see it. There were some characters in there that have been in and around the show on a regular basis. So if you ever want to go to Rwanda with us, we do trips, and just email info@jimmylakey.com, and they're more affordable than you might think, but there's a great way for you to go see what we're doing there. The Lord's work happening there in Rwanda. We always appreciate you doing that. Info@jimmylakey.com, and we can put you on the interest list and let you know when we're doing more trips. And if it's a bucket list trip, we can get you done. And you can do the safaris and all that stuff, but you can also spend some time with Rivers Promise. So I'm a great tour guide. We're great tour guides. We have a great team over there, and you'll be very safe and secure, and you'll enjoy it, and it'll be a trip of a lifetime. Info@jimmylakey.com. You can be one of those walking the streets, maybe make the next video like some of the ones I just mentioned did. All right, let's do the stolen meme section of the show on this Friday edition. If it's a Friday and it's payday for you, some of you get paid on the 15th or 17th or whatever, you know what to do.
There's a QR code. I think on my screen it's this side, but I think on your screen it's this side. That goes right to the Rivers Promise website. Or go to Rivers Promise. Throw a couple of bucks if you saw that and were moved by that video. We always appreciate you investing in what we're doing. There's an email that went out yesterday, by the way, that talks about some great news we got on our school. An international independent organization came in and did an analysis of our brand new school that has a very small budget. We're a very small organization, my friends, and gave us top marks in almost every category. And some of the categories were like, it was a 9 out of 10 or a 9.5 out of 10, but not 10. But a lot of the categories, we got the 10 out of 10. And we're a small organization, limited funds. If you got that email, there's a donation link in there. You can donate there as well. But just go to riverspromise.org. There it is on the screen, or scan the QR code. Now let's do the stolen memes section of the show. Here we go. Round and round the globe we go. Where we steal the memes from, no one knows. Meme number one. There's Democrat socialist policies. Free stuff with the socialism inside. It's the Trojan horse picture illustrating what's happening out there. Mamdani, the Democrats, even sometimes the Republicans say, we're going to give you free stuff. Yeah, let the free stuff in your front door. And suddenly you'll be beholden to the Democrat Socialist Party of America, also known as the Democrat Party. Round and round the globe we go. Where we steal the memes from, no one knows. Refusing to air a presidential speech to the nation about election fraud seems like a horrible way to convince people you weren't in on the election fraud. Now, I didn't follow this last night because I watched it in arrears. I watched it after it happened. I don't know who showed the speech or not. I don't know who did it. But so I guess there's a reference there, but I don't know who didn't air it. I'm sure they are in the election fraud, by the way. They're propagandists for the Democrat Party, and they're part of the Trump derangement syndrome. And this is why you can't trust the American media. Period. The end. Round and round the globe we go. Where we steal the memes from, no one knows. Global warming mysteriously spikes every year between June and August, experts say. That's true. We have a hot spell in Boston. Sally, what do you think? Well, it's global warming and the climate change is here. We got a hot spell in Boston every year, you jackwagons. Round and round the globe we go. Where we steal the memes from, no one knows. Make this make sense. COVID is a respiratory virus equals everyone buys up all the toilet paper. Explosive diarrhea parasite, and we don't have any toilet paper shortages. You know, there's wisdom in that. We should. This is deep. This is deeper than this show can get. COVID is respiratory, and we got locked down. Everybody bought the toilet paper. We couldn't find TP, right? You ever say, if I run out of TP, I'm going to cut up cloth? Remember all the stories people had about if they weren't stockpiled, they're like, I'm going to make little napkins and we'll wash them. And anyway, yeah, that's true. Yeah, we got explosive diarrhea going around. Round and round the globe we go. Where we steal the memes from, no one knows. There it is, showing off my summer body. Built on cheeseburgers and fries. Someone dinner, hey, you want this? Do you like this as an appetizer? I said, listen, you don't get a body like this by being picky. And unfortunately, I'm not real picky. But there it is, showing off my summer body built on cheeseburgers and fries. Yep. Round and round the globe we go. Where we steal the memes from, no one knows. I didn't survive Y2K, 9/11, swine flu, bird flu, multiple recessions, West Nile, anthrax, and that random killer clown, and COVID, just to be taken out by 2026 diarrhea lettuce. That's right, man. We survived too much. I'm a Gen Xer. You think the diarrhea lettuce is going to get us? It ain't going to get me. Yeah. Anybody watch that speech last night? I see a comment on the YouTube. Wrong again. Most of those intelligence stations knew it was just a stunt to push this Save America Act agenda. Intelligence stations. Well, even the governor of Colorado, who's no friend to Donald Trump, said he's interested to see all these new documents. See, this wasn't just President Trump saying stuff. He says these are the documents from the intelligence agencies. And it seems as if that the real journalists at these intelligence stations might want to look at the documents. And then if they can come back and say, no, this is fraud, this is not accurate, then fine. But you at least air the thing of the document, put the information out there, and don't decide what information people should just consume. And by the way, the pushing the SAVE Act agenda, the SAVE Act agenda just says that, hey, if you're going to vote, you should be an American citizen. You should show an ID. The same way that we say if you're going to get your ass on an airplane to the airport, you should show an ID. The same way that we say if you're going to go to Barry Hussein Obama's big monolith to himself of narcissism, you have to show an ID. That's all this Save Agenda Act is, that you call it an Agenda Act. It just says, hey, the same way if you're going to get on a plane, the same way if you're going to get a freaking library card, the same way if you're going to go to Barack Hussein Obama's presidential library, the same if you're going to get a passport, you're going to have to show some ID. We talked real estate earlier. If you're going to sit down at the closing of a house, you're going to have to show a couple of forms of ID so that they know it's you. That's all it is. And why people like John on the YouTube are afraid of that, I have no clue. And why CNN, ABC, CBS, whoever didn't air the speech last night, wouldn't say, oh, President Trump's dropping some documents. Let's get our newsroom on them and let's find out, are these true? And then let's find out if they're really true documents, which there's no reason to think all these agencies are dropping these documents that are forged, then how did we miss it? And who's going to be held accountable? It seems as if all sides of the media should want to make sure that the government is being true, whether a Republican's the president or a Democrat's the president. We want to make sure we're not being lied to. Unfortunately, the modern day media just wants to lie because they're all about agenda and not the truth. And that's the most dangerous threat to America, is people that do not appreciate what those teenagers did in the founding fathers' days when they laid down their sacrifice, their life, liberty, their sacred honor, everything. They put it all on the line and said, we're going to fight for this. And we're going to tell you that the government didn't give you freedom of speech. God gave you freedom of speech. The government doesn't give you freedom of press. God gave you freedom of press. And why these folks are letting government entities or government parties squelch their freedom of press and right to report a story is beyond me. It's because the media doesn't they think that their political power comes because of their position or because of their affiliation with Joe Biden or the Democrat Party. They don't understand that the freedom to report and learn the truth comes from God himself, but they choose to ignore God and just attach themselves to political parties. There you have it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jaime Lagos. We've articulated and pontificated way too long today. It is time to wrap up this puppy. And as I like to say, I don't guess I like to say it. I'm going to say it. Hit the road, Jack, but I will come back. I will come back very, very soon. Make those donations, Rivers Promise QR codes. Go check out. If you missed the video, it's up there at riverspromise.org. Go to the website. It's called Rivers Return. Thank you for watching that. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it blessed your little heart. I hope it did. Make a donation, riverspromise.org, riverspromise.com. Reach out, info@jimmylakey.com. I am Jimmy Lakey. May God bless you. May God bless America. Jimmy Lakey, peace. I'm out of here.